coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery, and the place where metal forgot to die. Do you want to do that part? No. This is the Here Lies Metal News Podcast, the podcast that brings you the origins, history, and culture of everything metal. I am still your host, Maledictus.
And I'm Samantha.
And we shall be your overlords for today and all of eternity. This is a news show. You haven't seen one of these in a while. You know why we stopped doing the news show, everyone?
Why?
Well, maybe like a few months ago, YouTube stopped with the downvote. And I was very upset about that because I like the downvote because I have so many of them with the news here, as you know, as you've all given me.
Everyone loves the news.
Yeah, everyone loves the news. It gets a lot of views, but they're all, unfortunately hate views. But that's fine. You got to take what you can get. So when they stopped that, I was like, how am I going to make money on this thing? Because when I get downvotes from you, I make so much monetization. And if so they stopped that. So I can't really make monetization anymore if there's no downvotes, because that's the only way I get any kind of interaction with the audience there and views for downvotes. And if there's no downvotes, no one's going to watch the Here Lies Metal News because they can't downvote it. So why would they watch it? Therefore, I'm not getting any views and not getting monetization. But I got so much of it because of you guys. I mean, we're so rich now because of all the downvote. But so not anymore. There's no monetization possibility now. But I'm just going to do this for fun because there's news to talk about. So I'm just going to do this for the shits and giggles, right? That's why I'm going to do the news now. So.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, so what the hell? It's the news again. This is the new
right.
Here Lies Metal.
Well, to start out, as we used to do, we begin with the obituary.
Uh-oh. That's
obituary section.
Yeah, that's never good.
And today's obituary is Jon Zazula, a.k.a. Johnny Z, died at 69 years old, co-founded Megaforce Records with his wife, Marcia, who passed away, I think, last year.
Yeah, last year.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for launching the careers of bands like Metallica and Anthrax. Died in his home in Florida. He did not live in New Jersey anymore.
He was naturally not in New Jersey.
He was a New Jersey local, New Jersey legend.
Yes, he was known for making the reason for the contribution of New Jersey to the original thrash scene. And if you probably heard the story a million times from Metallica documentaries, but I'll tell you once again. Johnny Z, of course, launched the careers of people like Metallica, Anthrax, and even Raven. He started by selling records. If you were like an old guy in New Jersey, you knew this guy's record stand he had in New Brunswick. It's called Rock and Roll Heaven. It's a little before my time, but if you're an older person,
you never went.
No, I think it was before my time. I never.
It was closed by the time.
Yeah, I think that was. I was probably like a little baby when that was happening. But he would eventually form. Megaforce Records, of course, which would sign notoriously. He gave Metallica a chance, Anthrax as well, and he's even responsible for signing Chris Jericho's Fozzy, which you can't hit home runs all the time. Unfortunately, he's responsible for that, but you can't really blame him. This guy was responsible for like I said, the thrash scene in New Jersey is how he got it. Metallica supposedly, according to I heard a story from Jim Florentine that he met them when they were living in Metallica was living in Jon Zazula's house, and here in New Jersey, and of course and all those guys that were in that scene back then, they're probably all in their 50s and 60s now, and they have this organization called the Old Bridge Metal Militia, and basically it's basically a celebration of that one night we hung out with Metallica like 40 years ago, and they're still like reveling about that.
It's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit, and it does good things. So we go to their things.
I'm not sure what it does.
I'm not sure what they do either, but it's probably something good. Okay, I'm not bashing you guys. But yeah, that one night they hung out with Metallica back in 1982. That night was so awesome, and it's because of Jon Zazula.
They have the Bulldozer Bash,
which is fun. I suggest you all go to it. Probably win this year. Hopefully you can go to it. And
none of that would be possible without Johnny Z.
yeah, Johnny Z is the one that really made that happen. So yeah, and you hung out with Metallica once in 1982, and you still celebrate it as a 60-year-old. That's fine. That's what you lived for. I can't judge them. I have no right. What did I ever meet Metallica?
You would do it.
Yeah, I probably would be doing the same thing. I'd be like, that one night, man, back in 1983 when I hang out with Metallica, that was awesome. So I'd still be doing that too. So I'm not gonna, so they're awesome. And I love going to their events. A lot of good bands play and everything, so it's a lot of fun. And they're here because of Johnny Z. And Johnny Z did so much for the music. He put New Jersey on the map. Metallica has a New Jersey origins, and he is because of that, and it's because of Johnny Z. So he was, he was one of the founders of metal as we know it, especially in the thrash scene. So rest in peace, Johnny Z, one of the greats. All right. So next we have this is well, I'll let you read this one. So,
KK Downing was insulted by Judas Priest's short-lived 4-piece lineup decision. So, just as a little background, KK has, of course, not been in Judas Priest for quite some time. Their replacement for him was Richie Faulkner.
Yeah.
That's his name, right?
Richie Faulkner.
Who will come up later, but he's also a long-haired blonde man. But
Younger.
Much younger.
Photographs great, by the way. Best photographs I've ever taken.
And of course, Glenn Tipton, he's been too ill to play with them live. And so they've been having Andy Sneap, who's one of their producers, fill in on the live role. So I think KK was miffed just from that back when they didn't ask him to fill in for Glenn.
Yeah.
So
there was a controversy back then.
But there was a little bit of a very strange happening recently where Judas Priest announced they were going to tour with only one guitar, with only Richie, and they asked Andy to step down, and Andy didn't even seem too into it. But then they quickly reversed that decision because it's like, what, you're going to have Judas Priest with one guitar? That seems crazy.
That wouldn't really work. It's kind of a 2-guitar band.
And KK Downing just wanted to speak out about this. What did he say?
Oh, the ongoing ballad of KK Downing, which never seems to end. So poor Corgate, he expected, once again, he expected to get a call, but he didn't get the call. And he probably found out secondhand that they weren't using him as usual. It's poor KK Downing. But,
well, they would rather have nobody.
They'd rather have nobody. Yeah, they apparently would have rather have just tour with one guitarist. And even if they're going to tour with two guitarists, it's still not going to be you. So, poor kid, here's what he said. I'm going to read the quote here in the best, crappy English accent I could do. I think I've got license to say that after spending a lifetime in the band and the image and everything that all shows and all the work and all the albums of everything revolves around that. I mean, if you see Glenn's red pants on
If you don't
see Glenn's red pants, those red pants Glenn used to wear. It's not Judas Priest, right? Okay, I created the image of this. Listen to this, folks. Listen to the balls on this one. Okay, I've created the image of the flying V guitar, long blonde hair, leather and studs. I created that, mate. Downing affirmed before looking back to the legacy he's built when he added, "It's easy to use the wheel, but inventing it is a different story." Okay, so I got something to say about him being. Yeah, go ahead.
No one thought before to have long blonde hair.
Never.
And to play a guitar in that shape. Okay, do you have any idea how many hours he put into that?
He invented it.
He invented
leather too. He invented leather on a guitarist.
The wearing of leather,
the studs, all that shit. So I have a few things I want to say about that. That's claim. That's a giant balls claim statement. Okay, that takes a lot of balls to say that, and I think a lot of people might fight you on that. So the flying V guitar has been around since early 60s, late 50s, I think. It's been around for a long time. So I guarantee you other guitar players with long blonde hair probably used it before you. When did you start being on the scene? 1975, 1976, playing on big stages and stuff, maybe? People noticed you. I could even say Michael Schenker of when he was in Scorpions around that time, in the early 70s, I think. Had the flying V and the long hair right? And he was, star guitarist kind of guy. Or even when he was in UFO. I don't know. I just think of so many guitarists. Like, comment down below, people.
I mean,
throwing out names, people.
I just like that he's saying this. Clearly, it's just straight jealousy.
It is at this
because,
point. It's sad.
Again, like Richie Faulkner, he does have kind of that air about him that is reminiscent of KK Downing.
He's like so much more energetic than KK.
He is better looking than KK Downing ever was.
He's better at everything.
So he's just like a younger, better version of him, and he just can't help but be upset about that. I mean, I guess we can all relate to that.
Yeah,
but,
I know we can't all have everything we want. Maybe we'll be a little bit sore, but we'll be a little bit bitter about it. But go ahead.
I will say I also do kind of empathize with him because I mean, think about it. Like they'd rather have like the producer guy who didn't really have like the look.
No,
like
not
he's
at all.
like he's talking about the looks on stage. He's like Glenn's red pants, and it's just like Andy Sneap's up there, and he's like bald and looking like whatever.
Right.
And it's like he's just not
Sure.
So I mean, he's approaching this very superficially. Like Andy Sneap doesn't look the part. I look the part.
I mean, in his day, that was everything. Looking the part was everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that because we didn't have the internet. Like you had to, like back then, back in the day of concerts, even in the '80s, like you had to. All you had was your look. That meant visuals meant so much back then because you didn't have anything else. So, but but I don't think. Like, I never thought KK was that impressive a guitarist. I think most of the work was Glenn. The solos and everything. Like, he was just kind of there. Like, I never really looked at this guy as this great guitarist. Whereas Richie is playing the leads now. I mean, he's like a really good guitarist. Like, he's doing everything.
He can play that lead while having a heart attack.
He did, and he did. He literally played a lead while having a heart attack. So, like, I don't know why you keep like, dude. Like, and you know why this guy left? This is kind of funny. He wanted to make like a high-end golf course. Apparently, I read somewhere. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a golf course. I'm quitting this band. I'm gonna make some big money having sort of like a Donald Trump kind of golf course."
I mean, I feel like there's definitely some part of the story that's missing because clearly he wants back in the band.
Yeah,
he literally released an album last year. His band called KK's Priests.
That's so sad. Okay,
and it's got what's his name on it?
Who is in that? One of the drummers from Judas Priest.
It's got the singer.
Oh, and that guy. Oh,
what's his name?
Ripper Owens.
Ripper Owens.
Right.
It's got him. Like he's just trying to do. He called it KK's Priest. I feel like once you do that, you're never getting back in Judas Priest when you pull some kind of stupid shit like that.
That's cringy,
like,
man. Don't do it. It's sad. It's fucking sad.
It was very sad.
It makes me feel like it's like the never-ending ballad of KK Downing. Oh, I'm up on KK's Priest.
I mean, I do get it. Like, he clearly, I'm sure he asked to be brought back, when Glenn got sick.
Yeah, they weren't having
and they said, no, we'd rather take our producer. And, like, that's a big slap in the face.
Yeah, like, we'd rather have this guy who looks nothing of the part.
Like, because it's like, we hate you, like, even, like I'm sure the fans would love to see him back.
Sure.
People would be happy.
All the Boomer fans would love to see him, sure.
So, on one hand, I can be like, I understand you, KK. I feel your pain. Like... it seems like you should be in there, but you're not. On the other hand, he keeps whining about it.
He keeps whining.
Which makes it even less and less likely that it'll ever happen.
Yeah, you can't just keep whining about it. And I bet you all the most 99% of Judas Priest fans want you back. Like, we're your only ones here.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like, we're probably the only ones here that everyone's like, shut the fuck up, you idiots.
I mean, if we can't have Glenn, there's no replacement for Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn is really...
Certainly not KK.
Power. Yeah, you just don't have it.
I mean, really, what we need is Rob Halford.
Yeah, and like I said, we're probably triggering a lot of people by saying this. Probably you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking. But the guy's just never done anything for me. Like, he's just kind of there. But yeah, he left to start some golf course, which failed. Like, it went out of business. So he's like, "Oh, can I be back in the band now, mate?" Like, this was a stupid. Why did you leave in the first? Like, they didn't ask you to leave, as far as I know. Like, you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave."
I feel like we don't know the story.
Yeah, I don't know the full story, right? But, like, that's what I've heard. And, you got to make your bed and lay in it,
I mean, Rob Halford didn't say anything negative in his autobiography,
right,
but it was a pretty diplomatic autobiography.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was trying to just be, pretty PC on it. He didn't want to piss anyone off. Understandable. But yes, I'm sure, I hope to hear more whining from this guy so I can make more news about it. But I'm not going to defend this guy. And, I know there's Judas Priest fans out there, all you old boomers, and you're like, oh, he's the greatest. Nothing special, man. The new guys. One thing about Judas Priest today, they're so good. Like, a lot of time, old bands are like, I got to sit to this old band. But they have mostly all younger members. There's Rob and and his
yeah,
and Ian, who are like
those
these old men. But the drummer is probably a middle-aged guy, but he's a great he's been with the band since Painkiller, and he's a power behind that band. Like he keeps that band so powerful. What's his name? Simon something. I don't remember his name, but he keeps that band. And you got Richie who looks great up there. And yeah, and that's what keeps that band alive. And I love that they have new young members. That's one thing that's great about seeing them. And me seeing this old man band, like I don't get like, oh, here we go, we're gonna sit through this. This is boring, because it never is boring. It's never boring when you see them.
We're gonna see them soon.
Yeah, and they're great to see, and they play their songs great. And I think it's all because they have young new blood, and they're just doing it so well.
I gotta say, I really am curious what happened with the whole announcement of one guitar. And why they asked Andy to step down, and then they brought Andy back, because it is going to be Andy.
Oh, it's going to be Andy, okay.
That's what it said.
Okay.
It's like, what happened there? What is that?
Yeah, I wonder, because they could have really gotten anyone, like anyone available.
Like they said they wanted only one guitar. Why?
Yeah, people would probably love to play with Judas Priest. I mean, I'll play with you guys.
You think you could play that?
I don't. Yeah. If I'm playing if I'm gonna play if Richie's gonna do all the solos and I just play the stupid rhythm parts, well, yeah, I could probably do that. I'd have to learn a lot of songs. I don't remember songs easy though. I forget songs.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. So the Ballad of KK Downey continues. So the next story, what is going on here?
Well, this is another apparently continuing story.
Another ballad
of ex-Deicide guitarist Eric Hoffman just having a Facebook rant against Glenn Benton, current vocalist of Deicide, of course.
You know what they say? They say, "Get bent, Glenn Benton."
And I don't think this is not the first rant he's published.
Not on either side.
Would you like to read the rant?
All right. So, to lay this down, why are they fighting? This has been going on for most of the century. The Hoffman brothers, Eric and Brian, they left the band in 2004 due to royalty disputes. I mean, that happens a lot in bands. That's my money. No, that's my money. They wrote a lot of songs. They were two talented guitarists that did a lot for that band. And, Glenn Benton's, probably a very difficult personality to deal with. And, there was some problems there. So Eric and Brian went back to form Amon, which was the original name of Deicide. And that's kind of their Deicide in a way. So, the feud has been ongoing since the split. But Eric, not Brian, we don't know what Brian said, but Brian probably feels the same way. He said he was very angry with Glenn here, and I'm going to read what and it's very, very venomous. That's what he said here. It's almost, it could even maybe get you in legal trouble. What he said here. So Eric says, I respect my fans. Maybe is he he's a Florida man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida accent, right? I respect my fans. I love my fans. Most people can't say that without them. I'll read it over here. Most people can't say without them. I'm in nothing without them. After what happened with Glenn Benton fucking took Scar's royalties for 20 years and all the Deicide merch, and I will find you and hunt you down like the animal you are. I have no label, and I did my last album for the fans out of my own savings, and we'll do it again without a label. Why don't you have a label, dude?
Do it again.
I'll do it again. All right, because I love it. I love this.
You could probably get a label.
Yeah, you're kind of a big deal in death metal. I now produce. I now. Oh, this part's kind of. You ask a lawyer about this. If this is okay. I now pronounce curse on his hairpiece. On your hairpiece. I hope your hairpiece burns. Hairpiece. I pronounce a curse on his hairpiece. Glenn Michael Benton. and you will be history soon. That's a threat, man. And Steve Lauer, new singer, Steve Asham, the drummer. I also remember, I don't know if this is like how he wrote it, because the grammar's all kind of weird here.
No, that's how he wrote it.
Okay, the grammar's all over the place, but
yeah.
So it's hard for me to read because
he's a Florida man.
Grammar's all over the place, and
he's a Florida man on Facebook.
See, folks, that's why it's good to have grammar, because I can't read it if you don't. I'm not that smart, so if you need to put all the right grammar so I can read it properly.
Just keep going.
All right. Also, remember this. There should be a comma there. I am deicide. With no commas, it's really difficult. It's confusing. And you are a disgusting individual that doesn't care about anyone but himself, Glenn. You're a man, and now you're not good enough. I drew the logo and came up with the name. That's such child stuff. It was me. I drew the logo, came up with the name. Unbelievable. I am a man. Suck it. This needs commas so bad.
Suck it, Glenn.
Suck it. Like, all you had to do is put some commas.
Listen.
And I wouldn't have been fumbling.
He's a passionate guy. He wrote it out, stream of consciousness.
Commas.
This is direct from his brain into Facebook. That's how he thinks. That's what his thoughts look like.
All right. If you overused commas, that would have been fine. Like, you see, folks, commas. I hate to be a grammar snob.
What are you expecting?
He's a Florida man.
From Eric Kaufman.
Eric Kaufman. He's a Florida man. All right. So, that was kind of threatening. I mean, he threatened his hairpiece. Did he threaten his hairpiece? Did I get that right? Did he threaten to curse his hairpiece?
He just cursed it.
I mean, that could mean.
Which doesn't really seem that grave to me.
Maybe the police, the authorities don't recognize a curse as a threat. Probably not. Definitely not in Florida. So
you can survive a curse to your hairpiece.
Yeah, it's just your hairpiece. I mean, probably people have cursed Glenn Danzig's hairpiece, and he's still fine. So he's angry, but this is an ongoing food, and Benton is thrown venom at him as well. So I'm just saying Glenn Benton is
not at this level.
But here's what Glenn.
I think Glenn Benton's actually the mature one.
You think so?
In this.
All right. Well,
I don't know. I'm not a scholar on the deicide wars here, but
none of us are. But Glenn didn't threaten any hairpieces. And here's what Glenn said though a few years ago. So this is kind of ongoing. Every time we do a record, they come out and make some kind of fucking announcement or something. Glenn told Into the Kanban podcast during an interview, every time we do a record, I guess Eric loses his mind over there and he can't handle hearing us. So he's saying Eric is just jealous that Deicide, who recently played Dingbats over here in New Jersey down the street.
We missed it.
Damn it, we missed it. It was just last year.
We're just true Hoffman fans.
In the summer. Are you Hoffman
We don't
heads?
Recognize it as Deicide.
Or are you Benton head? Folks, comment down below.
It's not true Deicide.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We don't care about. We don't really have a strong opinion on Deicide.
Does anyone?
I'm sure people do.
I mean, there's just
yes,
kind
people
of
do.
Well, yeah, dude. When I was younger, like my friend, I had a couple of Edgelord friends that used to love Deicide, and they used to recite the lyrics all the time. And I thought it was silly, even back as a teenager. Teenage Maledictus was like, you guys are silly with this Deicide stuff. I didn't get it. But when you think of the Florida Big Four, what do you think about? Do you think about Deicide? I don't think so. You think about Morbid Angel, right? You think about Obituary. You think about Cannibal Corpse. You think about Death, right? Like if there was if we could make Death again, if there was going to be a Big Four death metal, that's what it would be, right? You're not going to have Deicide in there. They're kind of like Exodus, Like, not saying Exodus is bad, but they're second string Big Four.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, they're not there. They're just not there. Okay. And Glenn Benton, he's kind of like Mr. Super Edgelord. He's always just been edgelording. This I found this on Wikipedia. So God knows if it's true or not. But according to this is just the talkings of an edgelord. Okay. Benton reportedly stormed into Roadrunner Records, into the A&R man and said to him, "Sign us, you fucking asshole!" And the next day they were signed. This was in 1989. So that's the kind
that sounds like a true story.
Sign us, you fucking asshole. That's how you get signed, folks. Folks, if you want to get signed, run into that record label.
Maybe Eric Kaufman could use that advice.
Yeah, Eric Kaufman. You're not signed. What did you ever listen to Glenn Benton? How did Glenn Benton get you signed back then when you were just becoming Deicide, just getting popular? He ran in there and told him how he feels. What did you do? Like are you saying that? Beta. Okay,
oh my God.
Glenn Benton, Alpha. Okay, so Yeah, I don't know what to say, but you guys, and we're gonna get hate for this because every time we talk about death metal drama, and there's always some kind of death metal drama, and it's great. Like we talked about, Patty O'Brien, what was his name? Patrick O'Brien, formerly of Cannibal Corpse, who will be again one day, I'm sure. And he ran into some Florida trouble with guns and skulls and flames. That's fine.
I think Eric Rutan's in there.
Yeah, Eric Rutan, he's your good stand-up guy, very stable stand-up guy there. But he did Florida things, and I got all kinds of, and I still get comments saying that like I'm against Patrick O'Brien, that I'm saying he belongs in jail. I never said that. I was like, that's Florida. Let him free.
We wish him well.
Yeah, he's cured now. He's out, and I thought it was funny that these things happen in Florida, and it's fine because it's in Florida. You could have skulls and flamethrowers and guns, and you could knock old ladies to the ground when they get in your way.
I saw a meme. I don't know if it's a meme where you Google your birthday and Florida man, and you see what comes up.
Okay,
and that's a fun activity.
That's fun. Okay, but
you want to do that right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Can we? Okay. So yeah, let's.
I'll do it.
Go on. Yeah. Let's find out. Stand by. We're gonna find out what Florida man.
We're gonna do Maledictus's birthday first.
Yes, don't say my. Do you have to say my birthday?
No,
identity.
It might come up.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, the New York Times article: Florida man's arrest in secrets case stirs disbelief.
It's not that.
All right, that's not.
Yeah, it's not super.
That's not too interesting. We'll try my birthday.
Okay, try yours. whoa, this one's good. Better than mine.
Florida man hit dad in face with pizza.
Oh!
After learning he helped deliver him.
Ooh! That's Florida pizza too. It must have been bad.
Why would you be upset if you heard your dad helped deliver you?
Yeah, that's like that one in Florida. That's not manly. Dad shouldn't do that.
Hit in face with pizza.
Dad should have been at a football game instead of helping deliver you as a baby. So we hit him with a Florida pizza. So like, it's not just a pizza. It was the pizza probably wasn't worth eating. So that's fine there. But you got to taste that thing in your face now.
So I recommend everyone try that at home. Google your birthday and Florida man.
Yeah, mine isn't good, but hers is great. But yeah, Glenn Benton's gonna edgelord on. Yeah, speaking of Glenn Benton has a thing about him where he orders people and they listen. So if Glenn Benton came here and was like, "You give me a pizza now," I'd be like, "Okay." I'd be like, "Give me your pizza now, you fucking asshole." I'd be like, what kind of pizza do you want, Glenn? Yeah, but yeah, he has a commanding ability to him, and Eric, maybe the Paulfin brothers don't really have that, and maybe he's a little jealousy. I don't know, but this is Florida politics, and these are Florida men, and we love it. And I'm not making fun of anyone, and
we're just reading the words that they wrote.
Yeah, they wrote these. I'm just commenting on the drama.
All right.
Some of you people out there take Florida very seriously. You think Florida's real. It's not. I guess it is real to you, but it's not real to me. I don't live there. It's a comic book to me. All right. I'm sorry to sound like a coastal elite to you, but I don't mean to sound like that. It's funny. Okay. This is funny when people come out with flamethrowers and knock old ladies to the ground and have skulls, and this guy threatens the Hairpiece. I don't know what to do. No other bands do this really. No other. They're not doing that in San Francisco thrash, are they? No. They're not. They're not even doing this in Norway with black metal. They're not. They're just not doing it. So, okay. That's the news for today, folks. Is there anything else?
Nope.
There's nothing else for today. That was the news. You haven't gotten the news in a while, so there it is. All right. So yeah, once again, follow us on social media. We have the Twitter with Samantha. Listen to it. Watch it.
Here Lies Metal.
Here Lies Metal. And there's constantly things going on in there. Instagram, check us out on Instagram. Metal Lies Here. And yeah, check us out on our Facebook page. Just things on there. And yeah, stay tuned for more news episodes and more review episodes. There'll definitely be more review episodes. And coming up is our cover review for different kinds of covers. I let you know we like to talk about artwork. So yes, folks, that's the news for today, folks. And
good night.
And yeah, so something.
Thank you for watching.
Something. Oops. Hold on. Hey, OBS, give me a problem here. I haven't used this thing in a while because it's a crap program. So yeah, folks, thank you for watching. We'll see you with more news when more news happens and you have more downvotes, more imaginary downvotes for me because I can't see them, but I can.
Go ahead and downvote anyway.
I know you do it anyway. I know they're there. So, thank you, folks. We'll see you again.